Clemente, and we're going to take a look at the garden after the first rains of the year here in California. Hopefully that was beneficial for everybody out there by those fires. I haven't checked, but I'm assuming most of the fires are mostly out or within a containable range at this point. So it's really pretty out here. The plants are really happy. It's really colorful. So let's just go see how everything's doing. I'm going to flip the camera around so we can get a better look at what's going on down here. Let's see what's going on. Boop. All right, we still got some stuff way here in the corner. Got some volunteer red mustards coming up and some succulents and this beautiful strawberry fruit tree. So you can see flowers right there. This one hasn't set fruit yet. It was really struggling, but it's finally starting to come back after some tea. Let's see. All right, mostly stick around here. Got some these white wax onions. Those little pearl onions. Stay about that size. They're really good for having with a good steak and potatoes or one of those kind of dishes. This is my first experiment with these potatoes that are actually grown from slips instead of actually planting the whole spud. I took these ones and I sprouted them and then clipped or just pulled the rootstock off. So I'm doing that in this one and over here, and so far so good. I'm excited. I've heard that sometimes the potatoes can be a little bit smaller this way, but you are able to avoid diseases because you're separating them from the old potatoes, and you are able to get more crop planted. So potentially you could make up for the yield. Got some garlics in here. I'm gonna need to take some of this mustard out. Don't want it to compete. The garlics are more important. I got plenty of mustard. So yeah, everything's real happy. Go over to this side. Got some of my herbs. Got some roots in all these that are gonna start coming up in the spring pretty soon. You can see the horseradish kind of starting to get going. These are some onions I planted from sets. So those actually are a bulb that was grown last year. They're about that big. You put them in the ground and you're supposed to get onions earlier this way. So we'll see if that works out. I've never done that before. So this is actually a pretty cool plant called horse mint, and it smells just like mint. It's in the mint family. Grows the same in everything. It's just a different, more wild variety. And I actually found it growing on the hill here in San Clemente, and I just dug it up, planted it in this pot, and took care of it. It's pretty fun. Little different kind of mint plant. Just backup herbs for when I gotta fill spots, you know? Most of the stuff right now is brassicas or root crops. Got some Brussels sprouts down here. I got some choy flowering out right here. I've got some baby choys down in there, as well as some Mizuna lettuce and some kale. Turning on over, these guys have been really productive right here. This is this, oh, I look like Shaq, like a white Shaq. That's pretty funny. I probably shoot free throws about just as well. So this is actually a Yod Pha broccoli. It's actually more like a broccolini. It's Chinese broccoli is another thing that they call it. But this has been so productive. You can see here off one plant, you can get a whole cluster of broccolinis, and you can just harvest these again and again and again. So if you're a beginner or if you don't have a lot of space, highly recommend you use something like this instead of crown big head broccoli, because it doesn't work out quite the same. Got some nice peas right here. These are actually one that are grown for the flowers. So sweet pea flowers. We got some cool varieties. My girlfriend was really excited about that for the bouquets. Hey, what's up, CC's Texas Garden? I'm here in San Clemente. How's it going down there? Did you guys get any snow? Because we got a little bit of rain. It's real nice. So here I got cauliflowers, snowball cauliflowers. Those are gonna get started. I've had a hard time with critters coming out here and eating my stuff, but it is what it is. Romanesco broccolis over here. More sweet pea flowers. You can check out a nice kale patch I have right here on the ground. We got that Russian Hunger Gap kale. We got that red mustard volunteers again. I got the cottagers kale. I got the black Tuscan kale or the lacinato kale. And I got this, one more, the red Baltic kale. Yeah, I noticed some snow up on the mountains. You can't see it from here, but there was some snow out over there when I was driving around. Pretty crazy. But yeah, hopefully it's not too cold. We got the sun already back at us over here. So, you know, we get, in our winter, we get half of winter, and then we get the rest of the days spring, you know? Over in this patch as well, I've got my volunteer chards over here. I grew a huge chard plant right here last year, let it go to seed. So I've got a nice little patch of volunteer chard just starting to come up that I'll be able to harvest out of all spring, and you can see some of my volunteer dill right there as well. Yeah, I truly wish I lived up here with these plants, Cece, but this is my dad's house. I live down there in this beautiful area, but I'm more in like a pit, like you know, I'm not up here breathing this nice air all the time. I'm kind of like down with the rats, you know what I'm saying? But it's nice. I like it. Even though the people are pretty stuck up and can be really irritating around here, there's a lot of really nice people as well. All right, moving on. I've got overwintered peppers. This is something you are not going to be seeing in Texas, so check this out. I just leave my pepper plants in the ground. This is a Serrano. You can see an old pepper that I forgot to pick, or just didn't ripen because it was winter, but this is already starting to re-leaf again, and it's going to be producing for me really soon. Here's more overwintered pepper plants. You see, I've still got chilies on the plant right now. This is a Sugar Rush peach. These things are pretty hot, but they're tolerable. So yeah, be jealous. Datil peppers as well, still going and re-leafing. So all of these are going to be producing for me super early, and I'm going to be enjoying that. I've still got tomato plants, actually. Here's another thing. Tomato plants growing all up here. If they don't die, I just let them keep going, because why not? They could end up being early producers, or I could just end up terminating them and getting them out of the way. I don't really mind it. This is evidence that my dad took part in this. This is a bougainvillea. These things are really pretty, but they are so freaking thorny. All right, look at these bad boys. Wait, how do I get it in the light? Oh my gosh, I hate pruning these. They grow like a weed and they're super thorny. So besides them being pretty, I wouldn't put them near anything that you have to work on all the time, because they are a pain in the butt to deal with. I use them as a living trellis to grow my tomatoes, and I've actually got a boysenberry down here. It's not very lively right now because it's winter, but it's gonna start popping off in a big way right here. Hopefully I'll get like hundreds of berries in this area this year. I know, thorns on thorns on thorns. And also, this is a really thorny boysenberry too. I got this cutting from a neighbor's yard, and it grew it out, and the boysenberries are really good, but like, woo, I'm not going to be planting thorny berries up here anymore. I got this Navajo seedless blackberry that I'm going to be planting instead. This is a cool plant that everyone grows out here. It's a type of daisy. I forget the exact region that's from. I want to say it's from Africa or something, but I could be wrong. It's in the daisy family though. It stays green all year and makes these really pretty purple and white flowers. So this is a really nice ground cover, because you could plant it up on a hill and it'll just seed its way down the hill really easily all on its own. So I love those for just a little splash of color and for the pollinators. All over in my pathways, I've got like arugula and stuff like that. I'll harvest them if they're nice, or I'll just let them go to seed and they'll give me more volunteers and ground cover and chop and drop. You can see that boysenberry has started to take down here and all around here. So it's gonna be popping up all over the place here this spring. We'll see how that goes. Got an avocado from seed that I did. I pulled this out of my compost pile and it was sprouting, and I was like, screw it, let's plant it. I think it's a reed avocado, but it's really healthy. So hopefully in some years it'll go. I haven't grown a lot of eggplant, but check this out. I got an overwintered eggplant plant right here. Like, what the heck, you know? So hopefully this thing is gonna be producing early for me as well. So that's pretty cool, because those are really annoying to start from seed. I start most of my stuff from seed and I can't always get those ones to do it. Some cabbage right here. All right, let's move along. The beans didn't really want to go. Maybe they're going to start growing now, but it seems like it wasn't warm enough for them. And there's some amaranth right there too that stunted as well, but still pretty. All right, more fun stuff over here. I got more of those sweet pea flowers, but then I also got sugar snap peas over here. I think these are just a more standard variety. I forget what they're called. I got a lot of beets that I saved from my own seed stock right here, and these things are doing really good. I sowed them and then transplanted them into here, so that was my first time doing that. I'm really happy with how that turned out. Another overwintered tomato plant. It's just holding space up here, you know, and produces a few good tomatoes, enough to keep us going through the winter. And it might potentially reshoot back up again as the weather warms up. Got radishes coming up in here and more sweet pea flowers. There should be carrots coming up in this back region pretty soon. Not sure if they've started sprouting yet, but I'll be keeping my eye on that. I got two more beds over here. This is a cool type of snap pea that I'm excited for. This is the blush snap pea. So these are actually going to be like pink. They blush pink like that on the pea. So pretty excited. I like peas during the right time of year when they're really sweet, but other than that, yeah, I feel you. They have their moment. Tomatoes overwintering, and these ones are doing really good. I think the ones that are like this have a better chance of doing really good this year than the ones that are really long and leggy, because they have less chance of getting disease and having all sorts of problems. They just, when they're like this, they have a really good chance of popping off again. I got my Brussels sprouts in there, a few more radishes, and again, I tried to do some beans right here, but they seemed like they weren't ready yet. So more overwintered peppers and different kinds of peppers. I got Reapers, some Hungarian roasting chilies, and the Manzano, which is on a completely different cycle than everything else. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go full leaf mode right now. These are a really cool pepper, actually. They have black seeds and they're pretty spicy, and they do better in shade than a lot of other pepper plants. Again, you can see I just do the wild growing wherever I can, and I've got herbs on the edge. I have most of my stuff in raised beds because the gophers will eat like everything if I don't do that. Like to keep some aloe around because that's fun. This area is always getting eaten and having a hard time, so I'm trying to figure out how to put something tough and crazy over there. But there is some yarrow. It just never gets to flower because it's always getting eaten. Oh, let's look at a beast plant over here. Starting here and going all the way over here, and you can see there's some other stuff growing. I just grow it over those like a living trellis and trim back the pepper tree right here, you can see, and the bougainvillea. But this is all a passion fruit right here. This big, you can see these leaves. This is passion fruit. So it's all coming from down here. This also started from just a little cutting that was like 6 inches long that I took off a neighbor's plant. And now I've got this huge plant. I let it go a little bit crazy last year. I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit more contained this year. And I'm hoping to get some nice fruits because it is now what you would call established. I'll take care of that. Yeah, I didn't even know they could get that big, frankly. So that was a fun little experiment. All right, let's check out the garlic. Oh, there's my mullein. Love that plant too. Fuzzy leaves, good for tea. This one's in a bad spot. It's pretty dirty, but hopefully I get a nicer one later. Garlic. These are my babies right here. So starting out, there's a lot of hardnecks like Italian red. Can't remember all the names. And then coming over here, starts to get into some soft necks. And these things are looking good. I'm following a good protocol this year, I think, and trying to really follow the rules with the garlic and make sure I fertilize them at the right time. That's gonna be making sure I don't hit them too hard with the nitrogen right now until it starts to really warm up and they're putting on more leaf growth. That's when you hit them hard with the nitrogen. Before that, you want more phosphorus, I guess, and after, when you're getting close to harvest, you also want more phosphorus again. So really pumped about that. Got more like ginger and turmeric and these things that are gonna come up, and more of those onion sets right there. Tulsi basil, love this plant. The bees also love it. Makes a really good tea. I use it in the lotions that I make, and it just smells really good. You can also use it to make pesto or any other kind of basil-y thing. Just the stems are a little woodier, so you're gonna have to take the leaves off the stems if you do that. Got some black nebula carrots right here, so I'm pretty excited for those. They're not quite showing yet in the root zone, but they're starting to really get nice. These are gonna be just black. It's gonna be pretty epic. All of my edible sage plants got all weird this year. I don't know if it was just the weather, but they got ants and aphids and they're just struggling. So besides that, all the other herbs are really loving it right now. Go over into like the more perennial herb section. Got a pretty lavender bush, different kind of sage. I love what I do here. I take my potatoes after I grow them, and you take the harvestable potatoes and there might still be a root mass left or an old kind of half rotting potato, and I'll just throw them in the ground out here, and oftentimes they regrow and I get a really nice crop out of them that I can use as seed potatoes for my next planting, or if they're good enough I can just eat them. I've got this oregano bush right here. Love this stuff, super good. Lots of uses for that. This is a variegated sage, volunteer, Tulsi basil from that other mother plant. Thyme really grows good around here. I really need to trim this one, keep it a little bushier. And got a nice rosemary, delicious. There's a saying about rosemary, Yeah, I do grow all this by myself. My girlfriend helps me out a bit, but she mostly also makes bouquets and does other stuff. So this is just me tending this after I get off work. I work as a carpenter installing cabinets at the moment. So 9 to 5, well, that's not my hours, but 40-hour work week, and then I just grow a bunch of plants because I'm crazy, I guess. Here's the hill down here, and I've been trying to really build up the soil here and make it tolerable. I'm not going to get into that right now because then I'll just wax on for another 20 minutes. But you can start to see there's a little path for management down there. We've got some beautiful acacia trees that were here already that I've been trying to take care of a little bit, but it's a big task. Moving on along, getting close to, oh, here's an example of some of my volunteer arugula. I have this going all on the hill down there, and I also have it in all wherever I'm not growing stuff. It's really an easy way to just have greens and not have to take up your bed space, and then you can also save your own seeds. Moving on this way, this is a plant that started really early and now it's looking really fugly, but I think it's going to bounce back. This is a black hollyhock, so these turn into really tall flowers, get like 15 feet high right here, so we'll see how that goes. I'm pumped on this guy though, because this is a white sage plant, native to California, really good for making smudges. You can make teas with it, and it's just a plant that's been over harvested by people because they can sell the bundles that they make from it and other reasons. So it's a plant that's not always around, so I'm really proud to be growing it in my garden and have it to get to this place, because I've grown a few of these, and like 4 to 5 of these that I've grown have died. So finally to get one that just made it past its critical mass and is just popping off makes me happy. Got some more kales down here and all these mustards, just wherever I can just make these little walkways and then plants growing in between. That's cool with me. More little baby kales. This is where most of the dill is at the moment. A lot more pretty red Japanese mustard. I got some volunteer parsley right here. There's a funny story about parsley being somehow related to the devil because it takes 7 days to form a root before it comes back up again. Funny little old story from somewhere. I don't use a lot of parsley, but if it can grow for free like this and easy, then I'm all about it. This Italian flat leaf giant parsley. And I got sage right here. This is not technically a sage, actually. What do they call it? Sagebrush is the common name for it. It's an Artemisia or something, not a salvia, but it smells like sage. Really nice native plant to these hills, so I'm trying to get more of this going on the hill eventually. You can see more volunteer nasturtium, volunteer tatsoi, this like spinach mustard, really yummy. And so yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. A little update right there. I've filling in these with more lavender and oregano that I've been cultivating. And there's another look at some of the hill chaos. It's chaos down there. Get a whole nother video. Don't talk about it, Skylar. This is a lemon eucalyptus right there. That's really fun and nice. That was just growing here, so we've been able to harvest off that. Really fragrant and a little bit less minty and doesn't grow quite as crazy. So, yep, that's about it. Got a little sage over there, and then this is a trowel of all potatoes. So anyway, CC's, thanks for interacting. That was fun. And yeah, I'll go check out your Texas garden. I want to see what's going on over there. Probably not much right now, but probably at some point a whole lot, right? All right, everybody, have a good evening. Peace.